Welcome back to Algebra 2, Chapter 1, Section 7 in this book. And what we're going to be talking about is solving absolute value inequalities. And, yes, absolute value inequalities, I got it out. So what is an absolute value? There's two ways to look at it. The first way I looked at it was when I very first learned this, I thought of it as being like a box. These parallel lines are like a box that strip a number of its positive or negative number where it just comes out the negative. The positive actually stays the same, but the absolute value of negative 7 is 7, and the absolute value of 7 is 7. So any negative sign gets stripped off. And then I started teaching it to kids, and how I taught it was there's this really old Disney movie called Sky High, and it's about super-powered teenagers who go to the school, and the principal is Comet Sway, and she was Wonder Woman when I was a little girl, and we have a hero, Will Stronghold, who gets in a fight with the apparent villain, War and Peace, in the cafeteria, and War and Peace is throwing fireballs, and Will Stronghold is like strong, and throwing trays of food, I think. I need to go rewatch it. It's one of my favorite movies. I think it's on Disney Plus. You can go watch it now. But anyway, so the boys have to go to the detention room. And in the detention room, it takes away all their powers. War and Peace can't make fireballs. Will is not strong. So one way to think of this is the detention room at Sky High. That's one of those movies, I just love it, and I can watch it over and over again. I've probably seen it 25 times, but if someone turned it on, I'd sit there and watch it because it's got great 80s music. It's just terrific. All right, but there's another way to think of it, like a distance. So for example, we have absolute value 2 and absolute value of negative 2. And one way to do it is to put them on a number line, and the question is how far is it from where they are to the origin? And if we start at, I put my negatives over here. I tell you, I'm dyslexic and things get flipped. Okay, if we start here at positive 2, it's 1, 2 frog hops from 2 to the origin, so the absolute value of 2 is 2. And if we start at negative 2, it's 1, 2 frog hops from negative 2 to the origin. Distances are always positive. So both ways, it goes to the origin. Now, we're going to be doing, well, what if it's X? And we're going to be looking at that. And then we don't know. We don't know if it's a hero like Will Stronghold or a villain like War and Peace. He ends up being good later. Just so you don't hate him, because he's great. But you're good. You don't know which one it is if it's an X. Now, so I'll be showing you what to do if it's an X. But if you have the absolute value of X and you're solving it and it equals a negative number like negative 2, that is impossible. Absolute values take away negatives. So the answer then is no solution. So don't get tripped by that. They'll do it. They'll have something where it equals a negative number like this. That would be negative 9, and the answer would be no solution. Okay, so if you're solving an absolute value problem, this one isn't an inequality, it's just an absolute value problem, then what you do is you write it twice without the absolute value bars. And you make it once equal to positive and once equal to negative. You can't have it with the absolute value bars equal to a negative number. That's no solution. But once you take them away, you can make one positive and one negative. And what you're saying is you don't know if you got the hero or the villain. You don't know. You just know how many frog hops it was. Does that make sense? So take off the bars, write it twice. And I always do the positive side first because it's just regular, and you solve it. Why is X not alone? It's got a 2 and a negative 5. We do the negative 5 first. We do plus 5 to both sides. Those cancel out. 2x equals 14. Why is X not alone? It's being multiplied by 2. What's the opposite? Divide by 2. Those cancel out. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Now we do it on this side. Why is X not alone? It's got a negative 5 and a 2. We add 5 to both sides. Those cancel out. 2x Negative 9 plus 5 is negative 4. Why is x not alone? It's being multiplied by 2. We divide by 2, and you end up with x equals negative 2. So either x is 7 or it's negative 2. Now this is real handy sometimes if it's something like time that can't be negative, then you know it's the positive answer. Okay, so here's one that's an inequality. Same thing we did there, we just write it without the absolute value bars the first time. The second time we write it again, but we make what it equals negative, and we flip it, to flip it. So that's the flip it clap. When we flip things, we clap. It helps put it in our long-term memory that we're supposed to flip it. Flip it. Okay, so you flip it when you make one negative. Now we just solve them. What's the opposite of plus 7? Minus 7. What we do to one side, we do to the other. Do we flip this inequality? No, we only flip it inequality if we're flipping it here, or if we multiply or divide both sides by a negative number. So now we get 2x is less than 4, divide by 2, divide by 2. Do we flip it? No. So x is less than 2. So we can put a little circle there. Now we're going to be doing the less part. Now let's do this one. So we do minus 7, minus 7. We don't flip it, so 2x is greater than negative 18, divide by 2, divide by 2. X is greater than negative 9. So it turns out that x is less than this one, x is greater than that one, and if we graph it, we color what's in between. You stop at the other value, you don't continue coloring. Okay, here's another one. Absolute value of 3x minus 2 is less than 8. Write it down one time normal, one time you flip it and make it negative. Now we're going to solve it. Plus 2, those cancel out. Do we flip it? No. Now we divide by 3, divide by 3. Do we flip it? No, because that 3 was not negative. Okay, let's try this one. Plus 2, those cancel out. Do we flip it? No, because those were plus 2's. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Do we flip it? No, because those are positive 3's. So now to graph this one, we have x is greater than 10 or equal to 10 thirds, and x is less than or equal to negative 2. So this is the situation where it's the ends. Now this one, a lot of teachers will not like your answer like that. If it's an in-between one, they want you to write it in between. So you start with your negative number, negative 9, and then make the mouth go to the x, and then make the mouth go away from the x, and they want that as your answer. There's a couple of word problems in your book. Take a look at them. We are so early in the book, I don't care if you can do that at this point. We're going to get to word problems. I promise you'll get good at them. This is chapter 1. All right, that was the end of chapter 1. Math is great. Come back for chapter 2.